Okay, so welcome to today's video tutorial. Today we're going to be running GPU accelerated Unikernels on Google Cloud. So whether you're doing blockchain stuff or maybe you're running some new fancy Python AI program, this will come in handy. We're going to do this sample program in one of the CUDA samples from Nvidia. Specifically, we're going to do this device query program. So if we pop into here, this is the program that we're actually going to run. All this really does is spit out a bunch of stats and basically says that your card is working. So you can use this as an example to build your apps on. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get to it. What you'll want to do is obviously you want to clone this repo. So we go into CUDA samples, go into samples, go to one, utilities, device query. And then I changed this one line in the make file, changed CUDA path to where my Nvidia toolkit was installed. So you might have to do that. And then I went ahead and built it, right? It's built as device camel case device query, but I renamed it to all lowercase because Google Image Names wants it to be that. And then the next thing that you want to do is grab the klib for Nanos as NVIDIA support. So by default, Nanos sticks a lot of klibs inside this directory, so you can see a bunch in here, right? But NVIDIA is actually pretty large, and it has firmware that comes with, and so we stuck that out of tree. It is actually in the this repo, NanoVM's GPU NVIDIA. So that's where this resides. Now, we know people don't like building against this, so we actually were able to cut this this package here, and basically it has the klib, which you would basically copy this klib over to your ops nightly klib folder like this, and then it has the firmware. And notice that it's tied to a specific version. This is actually pretty important. And so basically, we're going to include the NVIDIA folder onto our disk image when we build it, and then put the klib in the folder. You can obtain this, the latest, nightly, from this URL storage Google APIs. Now it's released nightly GPU NVIDIA. So this has, again, the klib. It has the firmware that it needs. This is based upon this particular driver. Again, you can match it. It's super important to have the right version. So you can just verify that this is correct here. And you can also see the file size. So that's all archived up too, 325. It's actually larger than that. That's why it's out of tree. All right. So back to here, and then so we have our device query. We have the NVIDIA folder here, which I just showed you. And then device query comes with some other stuff. So that we're playing with CUDA. So I had this other folder of users libs that I needed to throw in there. So we had libcuda, libdl, libpthread, and librt. You might be wondering how I found out I actually needed these. Well, you can just do, you see these openat calls that were failing when I had on like a ops run trace. Basically, that's how we find them. As you can see, like these are libraries that LD will tell you are there, but you'll need to turn on trace to like figure out the libraries that are loaded dynamically. All right, so let's look at our config. Well, let's go ahead and create this image. It's going to take just a second because it's So we're going to go ahead and create it, and then I'll show you the config. Oh, you know what? We need nightly. I went too far into history. So basically this will go ahead and create our image for us. Once you see this message, it basically has said that it's upload the file, and now it's just kind of importing everything. I'm taking a lot of this material, by the way, from various tickets that people have been opening up. The GPU support's gotten like pretty popular in the past couple months. So if you ever run into any issues, all you have to do is search for GPU on some of these. Like this guy, he opened up an entire repo. He stuffed a bunch of, well, not that link, but what was it? Yeah, this repo. So this is like a full example that he put in here. But yeah, there's tons of issues on a GPU, which is also a reason why we started bundling the binaries for it. All right, so it went ahead and created the image. Let me show you this config real quick. All right, so this is all normal. The flavor I chose N1 standard one. That gives us a Tesla T4 GPU, which you specify the type here. We say we just want one. And also, you know, usually I'm doing US West 2. However, I needed to do US West 1 because the instance type was only available in that zone. So you might run into that. We want to specify that we want the GPU Nvidia Caleb. And then we're including that Nvidia folder, which has the firmware, and then the user, which I had the libs, and then this idle on exit basically says if it crashes, just keep the instance running because I want to make sure I can find it. All right, and then we're just gonna do an instance create here. So something like this. Now this is just a, you know, this is just like a stats printing instance. So I didn't pass it a port or anything because we're not, you know, it's not going to persist. We're going to tear it down as soon as I'm done showing you this. So we'll go ahead and flip back over to here. Okay, so welcome back. I actually ran into a couple of resource exhaustion errors when I was trying to spin up this GPU. But when you spin it up, the program will look like this, the device query. It'll spit out a bunch of information and, you know, says it passes, and that's your clue that it's working. So I was showing you this on Google Cloud. There's a ton of other GPU providers out there that you might want to look at too. But this just shows you how to run GPU enabled Unikernels in the cloud. Till next time, bye.